2 Samuel chapter 17. Furthermore, Ahithophel said to Absalom, "Let me choose 12,000 men, and I will set out after David tonight. I will attack him while he is weary and weak. I will throw him into a panic, and all the people with him will flee. I will strike down only the king, and I will bring all the people back to you. The man you are seeking is as valuable as all, the people will be at peace." This advice pleased Absalom and all the elders of Israel. Then Absalom said, "Summon Hushai the Archite. Let's hear what he has to say as well." When Hushai came to Absalom, Absalom told him what Ahithophel had advised. He asked, "Should we do what Ahithophel says? If not, then you tell us." Hushai replied to Absalom, "The advice Ahithophel has given this time is not good. You know your father and his men, they are fighters, and as fierce as a wild bear robbed of her cubs. Besides, your father is experienced in warfare, he will not spend the night with the troops. Even now, he is hidden in one of the pits or in some other place. If some of your troops fall first, whoever hears about it will say, 'There has been a slaughter among the troops who follow Absalom.' Then even the bravest soldier, whose heart is like the heart of a lion, will melt with fear, for all Israel knows that your father is a mighty warrior and those with him are valiant fighters. So I advise that all Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, as numerous as the sand on the seashore, be gathered to you, with you personally leading them into battle. Then we will attack David wherever we find him, and we will fall on him like dew on the ground. Neither he nor any of his men will be left alive. If he withdraws into a city, all Israel will bring ropes to that city, and we will drag it into the valley until not even a pebble can be found there." Absalom and all the men of Israel agreed. The advice of Hushai the Archite is better than that of Ahithophel. For the Lord had determined to frustrate the good counsel of Ahithophel in order to bring disaster on Absalom. Hushai told the priests Zadok and Abiathar, "Ahithophel advised Absalom and the elders of Israel this and that, but I advised this and that. Now send word quickly to David, do not spend the night at the fords in the wilderness. Instead, immediately cross over, or the king and all the people with him will be swallowed up." Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying at En-rogel, and a servant girl would come and inform them, and they would then go and inform King David. However, they dared not be seen entering the city. But a young man did see them and informed Absalom. So they hurried off and went to the house of a man in Bahurim. He had a well in his courtyard, and they climbed down into it. Then the woman took a covering and spread it over the opening of the well and scattered grain on it so nothing would be discovered. When Absalom's servants came to the woman at the house, they asked, "Where are Ahimaaz and Jonathan?" "They've crossed the brook," she replied. The men searched but found no one, so they returned to Jerusalem. After the men had gone, the two climbed out of the well and went and informed King David. They said to him, "Set out and cross the river immediately, for Ahithophel has given this advice against you." So David and all the people with him set out and crossed the Jordan. By daybreak, no one was left who had not crossed the Jordan. When Ahithophel realized that his advice had not been followed, he saddled his donkey and set out for his house in his hometown. He put his affairs in order and hanged himself. So he died and was buried in his father's tomb. David arrived at Mahanaim, and Absalom crossed the Jordan with all the men of Israel. Absalom had appointed Amasa over the army in place of Joab. Amasa was the son of a man named Ithra the Israelite, who had married Abigail, daughter of Nahash and sister of Zeruiah the mother of Joab. Israel and Absalom camped in the land of Gilead. When David came to Mahanaim, Shobi son of Nahash from Rabbah of the Ammonites, and Machir son of Ammiel from Lo-debar, and Barzillai the Gileadite from En-rogel, brought beds, basins, and pottery items. They also brought wheat, barley, flour, roasted grain, beans, lentils, honey, curds, sheep, and cheese from the herd for David and the people with him to eat. They had reasoned, "The people must be hungry, exhausted, and thirsty in the wilderness.